Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Fandi Santoso, and my student's number is 202 122 152. In this discussion, we from Group 7 will explain about thematic progression, and I also will mention the member from Group 7. First is me, Fandi Santoso, as a moderator, and number 2 is Shinta, number 3 is Nisa Tintin Rusmiati, number 4 is Syaila Ulwa, and the last one, number 5 is Ferdi Satria. So without further ado, let's move to the material.
My name is Nisa Tintin Rusmiati. My student's number is 20, 21, 22, 137. This time, I will explain thematic structure and information. For holiday, textual meaning is relevance to the context, both the preceding and following text and context of situation. The role theme plays in the textual metafunction of language, which means creating reference to context is not all that straightforward, although indeed center his discussion of theme on this metafunction. The textual metafunction, which construes the clause as message, encompasses not only thematic structure, but also information structure. These two structures together constitute the internal resources for structuring the clause as message. Information structure is not realized by the sequence of elements in the clause, as the focal point of information may appear at any point of the clause. Information structure is composed of the two functions given and new. The first is given refers to information which is presented as recoverable, either in the context of the situation or in the surrounding text, in what has been mentioned previously. The second is new refers to something that is presented as non-recoverable, in that it has been mentioned before, or it is unexpected or surprising, or in contrast to previous information and or expectation. Thematic progression refers to the way themes interact with each other and with rhymes in order to provide continuity in discourse and to organize the text. Danes define thematic progression as follows: the choice and reordering of utterance themes, their mutual concatenation and hierarchy, as well as their relationship to the hyperthemes of the superior text units, such as the paragraph and chapter, to the whole text and to the situation. Thematic progression might be viewed as the skeleton of the plot. Richard offers thematic progression as a means distance material writers can use in order to make their text more comprehensible to readers and in order to avoid a major problem of writing. In Richard's analysis of a set of material which students had found difficult to follow, thematic progression was difficult to establish and confusing as at times. For example, the writer placed new information in theme position.
Hi, I am Fandi Santoso, and my student's number is 202 122 152. And I'll continue the material about thematic progression. Number 1 is zigzag pattern or simple linear. Is where the themes relate to the rhyme of the preceding utterance. In other words, the rhyme portion of each sentence becomes the theme of the following clause. TP with a continuous theme is where the same themes appears a series of utterance. Simple linear TP creates a dynamic style of essay, and consonant progression a static style of essay. This is by Enfies in 1974. Certain correlation have also been found between this progression and the text type. Simple linear TP occurs frequently in expository and argumentative texts. This is the example is about zigzag or linear theme pattern. It is a pattern when the subject matter in the rhyme of one clause is taken up in the theme of following clause. This pattern can be seen in below. Like for example, theme 1, continue to the rhyme 1, and continue again to the theme 2, and so on. For example, I have a sentence here, number 60. So a combination of assertiveness by males and accusation by females may have pointed toward social division based on gender. And next, number 61. One result of such social division has been a comparative lack of information about the role of women in history. Move again to the number 62. The reconstruction of this role, the resorting of women to history has been leading them to historical research in the present generation. And next, move to the number 2 is consonant progression, is where the same themes appears a series of U-turns. In the themes, this pattern is shared by each of these clauses and themes according to the information provided. These patterns keep the same themes focused along the order of the clause. Information is built the rhyme of each clause. For example, like number 68, Homer employ a particular event, the quarrel between an argan. And move again, number 69, Homer grasped that there is an internal logic to existence. And move again, number 70, for Homer, say British classes HDF Kito, action must have their consequence. I'll judge action must have uncomfortable results. This is explained about Homer. Move to the Homer again, and for Homer. Next is number 3, drive theme progression or DTP. In this pattern, the theme position is cohesively connected in meaning but not necessarily in form to the previous mentioned topics in the text. The text of whole section concern one general idea. The themes are the various clauses of the compilers are all derived from the general sense, but not identical to each other. The pattern reserved as the following, like theme, move to the theme 1, move again to the rhyme 1, and theme, move to the theme 2, move again to the rhyme 2, and so on. And I have an example in here. New Jersey is a flat along the coast and southern portion. The northwestern region is mountainous. The coastal climate is mild, but there is a considerable cold in the mountain area during the winter months. Summer are fairly hot. The leading industrial production includes chemical, processed food, coal, petroleum, metals, and electrical equipment. The most important cities are Newmark, Jersey City, Paterson, Turner, Camden, and the vacation district include Absbury Park, Lake Down, Cape May, and others.
My name is Syaila Ulwa. My student's number is 2021222144. 4. Split rhyme progression is a frequently occurring combination of simple linear thematic progression and thematic progression with a continuous or constant theme. The exposition where a rhyme is expanded by a series of subordinate themes. This type of thematic progression is characterized by the fact that a certain rhyme is explicitly or implicitly, double or multiple, so that it gives rise to a pair of or multiple thematic progressions. McCabe proposed a split theme pattern where a theme is expanded by a series of subordinate themes. Split theme progression means that a theme may contain more than one idea, and these ideas are developed in different subsequent clauses. Split theme and rhyme progression, such as these, are expository in character as they provide a list of related information to illustrate a main point. In this pattern, a rhyme may include a number of different pieces of information, each of which may be taken up as a theme in a number of subsequent clauses. Theme 1 plus rhyme 1, and then rhyme 1 will be contained or included in theme 2, theme 3, 4, and the next theme. Split rhyme is also where the rhyme of a clause contains two ideas which are developed in subsequent clauses. For example, we can see in the example 5.8, there are three sentences that consist of split rhyme progression. He also enlists the aid of two able adventurers, Alberoni and Ripperda. Alberoni, the son of an Italian gardener, was successfully a cook. Ripperda, a Dutch business expert and diploma. He ultimately lost the favor. We can see in the example that he as theme, Alberoni and Ripperda as a rhyme 1 and rhyme 2. Thus rhyme 1 and rhyme 2 will be contained in the next theme 2 and 3. Thematic progression chains, all of clause themes were analyzed to determine how related, if indeed they did so, to the previous discourse, whether to a previous rhyme or previous theme. This was determined on the basis of the presence of cohesive devices such as exact lexical repetition, synonyms, pronouns, substitution, and ellipsis, which can be expanded to include paraphrase and semantic inference, and relationships involving anatomy and hypotomy. This is the example of thematic progression chains that deliver with a Spanish language, where the rhyme 1 will be contained in the next theme 2, then 3 and 4.
Alright, my name is Ferdi Satria with students number 20, 21, 22, 503. Here, I will continue the material. The next material is peripheral themes. These themes are important to the organization of the discourse. They are only labeled as peripheral here in that they are peripheral to the thematic progression patterns. They can be divided into four categories: pragmatic, grammatical, extralinguistic, and metatextual. The first one is pragmatic theme. These themes are very similar to what Francis termed, that is, retrospective labels, which serves to encapsulate or package a stretch of discourse. Retrospective labels do not have as a referent a single nominal group. In this case, they are not repetition or synonyms of any preceding elements. Indeed, in the corpora, there are themes which encapsulate a stretch of preceding texts. Hence, they do not proceed from just one previous theme or rhyme. So, for the example, look at the theme of clause 40, where the weather had disastrous result, and the theme of clause 41, that is, poor harvest, meant that marriage had to be postponed. So, in this example, we know there is not repetition or synonym. Next, other types of grammatical themes which lie outside the thematic progression pattern are extraverse and existential construction and thematic equatives in both Spanish and English. Also, in interrogative clauses, the WH elements is the theme. It's felt that while these constructions do not add to the thematic progressions, they do not cause the difficulty in text processing for readers. Next, we have extralinguistic. This includes we and two instances of the imperative, imagine and recordance. These are taken as given specifically situationally evoked in Fringe form. And once again, they are analyzed outside the thematic progression chains, but they do not hinder text processing. And the last one, we have metatextual. These are themes which refer to the text itself. For the example, look at the clause 17. In that clause, they are said, in this first chapter, our aim will be look blah 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 blah. And the next, as chapter 12 will show blah blah blah. So in this example, we know that these themes are revert to the book's chapter.
Hi, my name is Shinta. My student number is 20, 21, 22, 128. Here I will tell about expectation on thematic progression. Clarity, efficiency, and style are of importance, as well as a mixture of narrative, analysis, and description, in order to put forward some expectation with regards to results on thematic progression. It is necessary to look to others' analyzed work in this area. This seems to be confirmed by Weisbeck in 1984 study of scientific writing, in which the simple linear patterns occur more frequently than the constant dumb patterns, especially in the discussion and interjection section of research paper, as well as the use of this pattern with the rhetorical patterns of explanation and exposition. No good attributes to the use of the simple linear patterns to the nature of readers and writers and to the relationship between them. Next, I will confide about the analysis group. The first to analyze with simple linear is explained before that in simple linear, rime 1 to rime 1 and rime 1 to rime 2, rime 2 to rime 2, rime 2 to the rime 3. Let's see the example. Outside my window is a big lawn. Here, outside my window is a rime 1 and a big lawn is a rime 1. In the middle of the lawn is a flower bed. In the middle of the lawn is the rime 2 and a flower bed is rime 2. The flower bed is full of roses. The flower bed is a rime 3 and full of roses is rime 3. The roses are my favorite. The rose is a rime 4 and my favorite is rime 4. Alright, the next group analysis is constant theme, as we know that in this constant theme, rime 1 is the same as a rime 2 and rime 2 is the same as a rime 3 and so on. Let's see the example. Li Ping was born in China. He was very interested to learning English, and he always tried to find opportunities to speak English with his friend. When he was 12, he could communication with his foreign language freely. We can see Li Ping as a rime 1, it is the same with he in the rime 2 and so on. In rime 3, it's the same with rime 2.
Alright, that is presentation from group 7 about thematic progression. And we from group 7 want to say sorry if there are any mistake pronunciation or misspelling word, because we are still learning, and that's it maybe from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.